Hi, my name is Michelle Mickens, and I'm a Master of Education and Instructional Technology candidate at Kennesaw State University. My capstone focused on how technology could be used to close the achievement gap. Um, my goal was to use more Web 2.0 tools in the classroom. I felt like that would be beneficial. And of course, teacher training and coaching to use new web tools, as well as the Microsoft applications that we had readily available already to us. I thought we could do that in doing that, we would increase student engagement, lower student apathy, and also create more project-based learning and assessments with a focus on publishing and using Web 2.0 tools for publishing. And also, of course, choosing high-interest texts to begin with. So the problem and need arose from our widening achievement gap. Our student body is getting smaller. We're having higher levels of student apathy, lower levels of student engagement, but mostly we have a lot of available resources going unused. First and foremost, again, it's that Microsoft tools, the applications, OneNote, Class Notebook, Immersive Reader, all of these assistive technologies that Microsoft has available in their applications. We have a Nearpod license that we've purchased, virtually going unused. Flipgrid is completely free now, and it was purchased by Microsoft. So that also uses Immersive Reader, which is a wonderful assistive technology that is highly beneficial to students who may be struggling learners. So my project plan goals were to coach teachers to integrate these tools. And of course, first and foremost, to design my own professional learning videos so that they would have something handy all the time. After, of course, myself researching and becoming fluent in those tools. And then, of course, I would use those videos for professional learning and to help design workshops for maybe teachers who could not come to the professional learning. It would be just a place where any teacher can go to use it, even if they were not interested in participating in the capstone. And I was hoping the results, of course, would result in higher student engagement, of course, lower student apathy, and raising the Georgia milestone scores. And I set a high goal for myself with 7%, but I did believe strongly that we could do this. The means of evaluation, of course, were to use surveys and observations of teachers and those conversations that we would have with one another over time. And one of those people was my department chair, Marcia Willis, and this is what she had to say about using some of the tools she learned.
When I first started integrating technology into my classroom, I was quite honestly afraid. I am a self-proclaimed dinosaur. I've been doing this for 21 years, so I was a little nervous about whether or not I could do it well, integrate it effectively. So I was a little scared. Some of my other fear came from I am not as comfortable because I'm from a different generation and I want to be able to do it right, do it effectively, and have it serve my purposes. The majority of the students were actively engaged. It really helped students who were not usually involved in the classroom, especially when they were able to listen to the text on audio. A lot of students benefited from being able to discuss collaboratively when I gave them discussion questions and they could see what other people had written. And in most cases, it helped them to see what a good response looked like in the comfort of from their own laptop instead of we going over it in class. Some students who were a little more resistant to change, ironically enough, a few of them didn't like it as much. Some of them who had been with me for a while didn't, because it was different. They had gotten used to the similar thing. The thing that I think was the most benefit was that it did engage kids that don't traditionally do well in a traditional classroom. And one of the things I most liked was being able to have that constant real live dialogue. In particular, when kids send in essays, I can make comments right down the side. They can ask me very pointed questions. I can highlight things. And quite honestly, it makes it easier for them to see my comments.
In addition, I also evaluated and surveyed several students, and there were two students in particular who raved about the technologies. They were in my freshman class, Jalen Quinn and Trakira Ashmore. Both increased their milestone scores. They showed tremendous growth, which they attributed to the technology. And the interesting thing about this class was that I was also getting my online teaching endorsement. And so I was using the Canvas LMS, and within the Canvas LMS, we were incorporating the use of some of these Web 2.0 tools like Flipgrid, like Padlet, like the collaborative documents. And so I asked Trakira and Jalen what they thought about that. Okay, so we have with us here Jalen Quinn and Trakira Ashmore, who both participated in the technology integration for my Capstone research, and I thought it would be really important to ask them what they thought of it, since they are the ones who were most vocal about using the program. So to start with, which part, Trakira, did you like the best about the technology integration? We used several different Web 2.0 tools. We used the Canvas LMS system. We used documents that were collaborative out of Google and Microsoft. Of all the things we did technology-wise, which did you like best?
I like Canvas best because you could explain your thoughts and feelings by the passage you were reading, and you could understand more because you would break the questions down and we would have to type.
In the discussion posts specifically? Okay. What about you, Jalen?
I like the Canvas because like you get to do a task at any time you want to.
Yeah. Okay, good. How did you feel after taking it going into the Georgia milestone? Did you feel like you were a little better prepared? Did the technology affect you in any way that way? Did it build your confidence?
It built my confidence because like before I used the technology in my previous grade, I didn't feel as confident because I wasn't practicing writing and different things that the Canvas did.
Good. What about you, Jalen?
I feel confident because like when like in 8th grade I didn't know how to like really write an essay, but after the stuff we did, I like learned how to do it.
So you think the LMS created steps for you that allowed you to progress to be a better writer? And you too, Trakira? Good. So tell me about the milestone. How did it turn out? Did you do better than you anticipated?
Yeah, I did a lot better than from my previous grade.
How much so? Tell me how that felt looking at your scores.
Well, when I don't really know. When I looked at my scores first, I thought I was gonna fail, but then I passed.
And do you think the technology had a direct effect on that?
Mm-hmm.
Would you attribute that to the technology? What about you, Jalen? Were you surprised? Were you impressed with your scores? Were they better than you anticipated?
Yes.
And what about it? Do you think the technology had a role in that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, well, good. In future classes, which one of the applications, aside from the Canvas learning management system, which app did you really like using? Is there any one you liked versus any of the others?
The Padlet, it was just basically you explaining a story, a summary of a story. Like you took we basically explained the story in a different way, like in our own words.
And it was using a different format. Was that a little less boring maybe? Is that how you'd describe it? Yeah. Okay, well good. What about you, Jalen? Was there a particular application you liked? Flipgrid, Padlet, the interactive documents?
I just like Canvas.
You liked just doing the learning management system. Well good. Thank you guys very, very much. So basically, the Capstone experience was a difficult one. Translated from To a Mouse by Robbie Burns, the famous Scottish poet, the best laid plans of mice and men often go awry, and they did here as well. To start with, I had low teacher interest based on the needs assessment I put out. I only had 3 teacher recruits. 2 were English language arts teachers, and 1 was a new history teacher, a new teacher altogether. It was her second year of teaching. She was looking to increase student engagement. I coached and observed teachers using the Web 2.0 tools, but rather than design my own videos and my own screencasts, new duties for me this semester made creating those videos difficult. And I was put on the district change team. I was made a mentor teacher for new teachers. It occupied a lot of the time I would have needed to make those videos myself. But GCTE 2018 was a game changer. I soaked in everything I possibly could, every single session that I could attend that had to do with class notebook, OneNote, Flipgrid, Padlet, anything. I soaked those in. I made sure I was at each and every one of those sessions. In addition, I tweeted with Mike Phelpson, who is a Microsoft educator, and Michael Zydius, who is an instructional technology specialist too, who has a beautiful Weebly site. I met him at GCTE, and he has this wonderful Weebly site already made. So I had something available to teachers in the immediate sense that I would not have to create, and it helped me save time. In addition, our ELA Georgia milestone scores improved 20 points in American literature and 12 points in 9th grade literature and composition. At the time, I was unable to tell that percentage increase, but certainly those numbers are astounding, to say the least.
The most important lesson I learned was balancing technology integration in the classroom. If I were to do this project again, I would focus on 1 or 2 tools. Not only did I incorporate tools, but I also used the Canvas LMS because I was working on my online learning certification endorsement, and I thought I was killing 2 birds with 1 stone. And although it was productive, and I feel as though I did the right thing, I also think that this would have went better if I would have focused on maybe 1 or 2 web tools, maybe Flipgrid, maybe Padlet. And I think also that it's important that the technology isn't really the primary focus. I think the most important thing I learned was that the coaching is the primary focus. As you heard from my departmental chair, she is a self-proclaimed dinosaur. She has her lessons down pat for 87 minutes from beginning to end. And she doesn't have time to redo lesson plans and integrate those tools, especially when it's for AP coursework that's already full and loaded every day. And so it's important that you have that coach, that you have somebody helping you integrate that, cheering you on. Coaching is extremely important. Another valuable lesson I learned was that teachers want to do new things. They want change. They see students changing, and they want to change with them. But it's really hard to do when time does not allow for that. And so by coaching and helping integrate the technology, it is probably the most important thing about the technology integration itself. And I think I probably wouldn't have realized that had I not done this project.
I am extremely grateful to everybody who participated. All of my students, all of the teachers, in addition to Miss Willis, whose interview you heard here, also Evan Dixon and McLean Lambert, and huge thanks to Mike Tholfsen and his Twitter feed, and Michael Zydius and his wonderful Weebly page. And this has been a wonderful experience. And thank you, and especially to my family who has shown such patience in the last couple of years. Thank you.